Thank you, everybody. This is so great. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. This is the official book launch of Mount Diablo, A Story of Place and Inspiration, and you are here today for the official book launch. Thank you. I thank you so much for being here today. This means everything to us. There's a reason why you're here. You either know Stephen's artwork already, you are a fan of libraries, you're a fan of Mount Diablo, you're a member of the community, and we're so happy to have you here. I'd like to thank Susan Moon. There's Susan taking photos. Susan Moon and the Walnut Creek Library Foundation for hosting this launch today. When Stephen and I were choosing a place to have the book launch for this fabulous, stunning book, we knew that we wanted to have it at the Walnut Creek Library, our community living room, because this is where books live. If the shades were up, you'd see images of Mount Diablo, and this is where things happen. And so we are so happy. Thank you so much for allowing us to have our book launch here and for hosting us so nicely. Thank you. And Matt Bolander, thank you, from Walnut Creek Television, here to record today's book launch for posterity. It'll be airing later on WCTV, and I think possibly posted on YouTube. Yes, posted on YouTube. So all of you can watch it either on Walnut Creek TV or on YouTube, and you can look for the backs of your heads. I'd like to thank Derek Jones and Heritage Eats. Who all knows Heritage Eats? The only place to eat in town. Heritage Eats is here with the Vietnamese iced coffee, with the cucumber mint lemonade, and hot chocolate cookies. And I don't mean hot, I mean spicy hot. So you have to enjoy it. Thank you so much for hosting the goodies today. Heritage Eats is located in Broadway Plaza. Let's see, it's across from See's, next to just a little south of Nordstrom's. So after the event today, perhaps you'll go for a late lunch or an early dinner. Try Heritage Eats. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank the book sponsors. The book sponsors were instrumental in helping us get the book published. And that's Save Mount Diablo, that's the East Bay Regional Park District, that's Rockcliffe, J. Rockcliffe Realtors, and that's Bishop Ranch, and our very good friends, Claudia and Scott Hine. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you. Thank you for your sponsorship and helping this book come to life. Thank you so much. Mount Diablo, A Story of Place and Inspiration, is a book that features 200 more than 200 stunning panoramics created by that gentleman back there, Stephen Joseph, our esteemed California landscape photographer. I've had the good pleasure to work with Stephen on many occasions. This is our second collaboration for a book. And he never ceases to amaze me with his knowledge of photography and his knowledge of nature photography. It's a pleasure to work with you, Stephen. You're creative. You know so much. The knowledge comes through your imagery and through your conversation, and I thank you for this opportunity to be a part of your book. Thank you. Mount Diablo, A Story of Place and Inspiration, features his photographs, but the photographs are supported by 4 fabulous essays written by leaders in conservation and humankind's connection to nature. And those authors, essayists, are Ted Clement, Executive Director of Save Mount Diablo, Seth Adams, Land Conservation Director, Save Mount Diablo, Ed Birnbaum, Senior Fellow with the Mountain Institute, and Robert Doyle, who is the General Manager of the East Bay Regional Park District. He couldn't be here today, but I thank all of you for contributing your words, your passion, your joy about nature to the book. Their words are fabulous. Please, you will love the photographs. You will love the essays. Together, the imagery and the words present a picture of connecting with land, protecting land, land that inspires us to care about the land and each other. So thank you very much. It's been an extreme pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen. Before we introduce Stephen to come up here to speak a little bit about photography and shooting Mount Diablo and about this fabulous book, I would like very much for each of the authors to come up and say a few words if you'd like to. So you'll be going over to the podium. And first up is Ted Clement.
Good afternoon, everyone. So first of all, I just want to congratulate, applaud, and thank Stephen Joseph for this incredible creation. He's really taken it to another level, and so I just want to give applause for him. It was such an easy decision to stand behind Stephen and support him on this book. Yeah, we at Save Mount Diablo are just proud to be part of this. There are many reasons for that. When you look at this book, you realize, if you're a Save Mount Diablo supporter, that this is evidence how your investments into the Save Mount Diablo organization are truly creating priceless, lasting benefits for our community. So that was certainly one reason to support this book, so that our supporters could see that their support of Save Mount Diablo really is creating just absolutely beautiful, priceless, lasting returns for the community. We also knew that this book, for people who are not yet involved with Save Mount Diablo, would be a wake-up call. We've got incredible beauty out there, and we should be standing up to protect it. So please, join our cause, join the work to protect this incredible resource we have here. Another reason for me personally, I really believe this is a critical time on planet Earth. We've all heard about the climate crisis. We've heard a lot about other issues associated with it. This is a time for us to plug into nature, fall in love, and work our tails off to steward this incredible planet we have. We know it's also a time where realities such as nature deficit disorder in our young wired generations are being documented in so many studies. We just are not seeing people spend the time that they used to outdoors. And that is troubling, because good stewardship of the planet starts with being deeply connected to Earth itself. And this book is such an invitation to go out and get connected. We have such beautiful natural resources in the Mount Diablo area. And I can't think of a better invitation to go out and fall in love with nature than this book. It just inspires you. And lastly, I also want to recognize Ed Birnbaum here. When I was an undergraduate in college, I was doing research on a somewhat obscure Tibetan tradition, the Bayul tradition, these incredible valleys deep in the Himalayas. And it was really hard finding books about the subject. But then I found Ed Birnbaum's book. And it was an incredible book, a very important resource for me. And I remember reading on the jacket cover that Ed was an accomplished mountaineer, had taught for the Outward Bound School, had been a Peace Corps volunteer. And I thought as an undergrad, I want to be like that guy. He really became my hero. And all these years later, to come to the Bay Area, to become friends with my hero, to be in a book with him, to support Stephen's incredible work, it's a real pleasure. So enjoy this incredible book, and what a great time to get it before the crush of the holidays. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being a part of this. Thanks.
I realize I never introduced myself. I am so concerned about thanking everybody, and Stephen and Seth and Ted and Ed. I am Linda Rymack-Kohlberg. I am the very proud editor of this fabulous book and one of its authors. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you, Ted. Ed, would you like to say a few words?
Well, I don't know about the hero business. In fact, maybe I should just shrink behind this podium after that. But I want to congratulate Stephen on a really beautiful, important, and inspiring book. And the word right there is inspiration. And that's terribly important today, because unless we're inspired, we don't have the motivation to really protect the environment. And I think this book goes a long way toward doing that. And I've certainly had experience doing this. I've researched sacred mountains around the world, inspirational mountains. I did a book on sacred mountains of the world. And I also worked with national parks like Hawaii volcanoes, where Ted was in Hawaii before he came here, Yosemite right here, Mount Rainier. And we were developing interpretive and educational materials based on the evocative cultural and spiritual and aesthetic meanings and associations of different features of nature, especially in mountainous parks, and using that as a way to connect with all sorts of people, not just mainstream Americans, but also so-called minorities, Latinos, African Americans, Asian Americans, and so on. And it was really a very important project, I think, because it did really hit what it is that motivates people to protect the environment. And I think mountains like Mount Diablo are key to that, because they're the highest and most dramatic features of the landscape. Certainly from right here, Mount Diablo stands out more than any other feature in the area. And there are all sorts of different reasons and ways in which mountains inspire people. But the fact is, in cultures around the world, they're almost automatically associated with the deepest, highest, and most central values and aspirations of people in all these cultures. So they're a way of connecting. And I think Stephen's book does a magnificent job of doing this through photography. In the projects we did with national parks and exhibits, we used photographs, and it would have been lovely to have had some of Stephen's photographs, but we didn't have that there. So I just want to congratulate Stephen again, and to say that this is a really important work, and I hope it does, as Ted says, get you out to really connect you with nature, because that's what really moves people and makes environmental projects such as Save Mount Diablo sustainable over the long term. It's not just science, it's not just economics, it's what moves people and connects people to the environment in all sorts of different ways. So thanks again, Stephen, for a great job.
Hi, my name is Seth Adams, and I'm the Land Conservation Director for Save Mount Diablo. And I was the first employee of Save Mount Diablo 31 years ago. And I want to tell you that a week ago I was texting Stephen and I was saying, what's going to happen at next Saturday's event? And what do you expect of the essay authors? And he said, nothing, there's going to be no talking. And And then 3 days ago, he asked whether I could come and carry boxes of books up into the room here. And so I dressed appropriately to not have a speaking role and to carry books, knowing full well that when we got here and the magic started happening, that there would be speaking roles and that Stephen would tell you a lot more about what's going on. And you would start to get a window into this eccentric, obsessed soul that we've all been dealing with for many years. And I'll tell you that about 30 years ago, at a very sad time when my best friend, who had been providing a lot of photographs to Mount Diablo, was sort of declining in health and then passed away. In that same year, I got a handmade postcard with an incredible panoramic photo of Mount Diablo on it from Stephen, with this like stars and moon background on the back of it, and the message of, "I take a lot of photographs of Mount Diablo, can I help you?" Stephen Joseph. And I went to see him at his place in Lafayette, and that began a shared evolution over the next 30 years of our work, Save Mount Diablo, Stephen's talents, and for the past 30 years he's been helping us to showcase this mountain that's so important to this community. And it's been an incredible journey. I was incredibly honored, as the others were, when he asked us to write essays to pair with the book, to introduce the book. And I'm just going to read you a short piece of my essay, which is called Creating a Sense of Place. And it starts with a quote from author Wallace Stegner. "At least a human perception, a place is not a place until people have been born in it, have grown up in it, lived in it, known it, died in it, have both experienced and shaped it as individuals, families, neighborhoods, and communities over more than one generation. Some are born in their place, some find it, some realize after long searching that the place they left is the one they've been searching for. But whatever their relationship to it, it's made a place only by slow accrual, like a coral reef." And these are my words. "A place is made a place like a landscape is shaped over time. Stegner's comparison to a coral reef is a good one, but it can happen slowly or startlingly fast. Meaning adds up from stories, joyful experiences, working to save a place. It develops from inspired art, from startling talent, and from flashes of brilliance." And then sort of the conclusion of the essay, in which I try to put Stephen's work in context a little bit. "Why are Stephen Joseph's photographs more than pretty pictures? Certain places hold special meaning. They have a strong sense of place because they have an identity that is deeply felt. People bond with them and endow them with value. They name them. Some places inspire awe, like Yosemite or the Grand Canyon, dramatic geological features. Some are organic, like old-growth redwoods, which can be as spiritual as any cathedral. Some are man-made and ancient, like Stonehenge or the pyramids, or because they were important for long periods of time, like the cave art at Lascaux, or pictographs at our own Vasco caves. Some are constructed and more recent, like the Taj Mahal or the Golden Gate Bridge, beloved by millions. Even ordinary places can be made special by extraordinary artists. Monet's water lilies made Giverny forever special. Each morning, Georgia O'Keeffe opened the curtains of her Ghost Ranch studio and viewed the small mesa in the distance, the Pedernal. She painted it 28 times. It's my private mountain. It belongs to me. God told me if I painted it enough, I could have it. She made the Pedernal special along with New Mexico and its amazing desert light. 100 paintings, 1,000 photographs can record the same place and not do that until what becomes apparent is unavoidable. It reaches out and it grabs us. Craft becomes art when it stirs our emotions, transcends the view, and captures and conveys how the artist felt. Stephen Joseph's photographs, often focused on Mount Diablo, are the most important body of work ever created of the East Bay landscape. Ansel Adams is best known for Yosemite. Many photographers, including Stephen, are drawn there. But as O'Keeffe is to New Mexico, as Adams is to Yosemite, Stephen Joseph is the most significant artist of the East Bay landscape. His photographs and his love, his obsession for Mount Diablo and the East Bay Hills, for the Diablo Range and Castle Rock and Vasco Caves, will be recognized for having made this place we call home special. For us, his photographs convey the emotions we can barely describe, but we can feel. why we love living here, the wide open space, deep breath of walking out of our cities, onto our trails, and into our parks. Nearly everyone takes his or her most familiar places for granted. Stephen Joseph's photographs demand that we open our eyes, that we treasure and protect these special places. And I hope that you'll continue to be a part of that protection. And so I'm going to make two requests of you. One is, if you haven't thought about buying a book, please buy a book and help support Stephen's work. If you were already thinking about buying a book or two, buy 2 or 4 instead and give them as gifts to your loved ones. This is a limited edition book. It's a special thing. If you saw Stephen Joseph's last book a few years ago, I can tell you it was one of a kind at the time. And this eclipses it in such a stunning way that you can't even imagine. He's taken it to a whole new level. These photographs, except for 2 photographs, these photographs are all over the last 3 or 4 years, and they are incredible. The book is literally stunning. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you, as Ted did, that the work of saving these special places is taken on locally by Save Mount Diablo, and if you're not already supporting our work, we hope that you will. So please support Stephen Joseph. Please support Save Mount Diablo. And I'd like to introduce Stephen, the star of the show, right now.
Wow. Seth is a very big fan. Well, I cried at my first book opening many years ago. It was my John Muir book, Nature's Beloved Son. Let's see if I've matured a little bit in all these years. I doubt it, but maybe. I have to thank everybody. Ted, this book wouldn't have been possible without Ted and Save Mount Diablo. Ted, right away, I went into his office, we talked. Ted said, yeah, this sounds great. Let's do this. And so it happened. With Save Mount Diablo's support and Ted's wonderful support, this book was possible. With everybody from Seth, and I couldn't have done it without Linda. Linda Kohlberg, thank you, Linda. We spent 1,000 hours on the phone. I was in New York all summer, last summer. We're on the phone back and forth, hundreds of hours. Every decision that I had to make, Linda backed me up. Great creative, all the decisions, wonderful, thank you. The book wouldn't be here without Ted and Linda, Save Mount Diablo, East Bay Regional Park District, Rockcliffe Realty, all of the, Scott and Claudia Hine, all of my sponsors, who am I forgetting? Bishop Ranch, Alex Moran at Bishop Ranch, same thing. Took the project to Alex Moran, he said, this is great, I'm on board. So it was wonderful having all the sponsors. My wife Susan, that's put up with me all these years, and all my close friends. And my friend Bonnie yesterday said, you better prepare something. I never prepare. You better prepare something. So I told her, okay, when I go to bed tonight, I'm going to lay down and I'm going to think this through so I don't miss anybody or anything. I immediately fell asleep. So I have nothing to prepare. But this was such a great project to work on. This book represents the last 4 years of my work on Mount Diablo. I've been photographing Diablo, I can't believe it, 36 years now. 36 years. My father said to me a couple of years ago, maybe you should diversify a little bit. He's 94 years old. And he said, maybe you should diversify. And I said, yeah, but I photograph Mount Diablo. You know, it's so diverse. Every day I go up there, I don't photograph in the summer. I like clouds and great weather and stuff. So I start photographing about now, and I photograph through May, June. I like clouds and weather. So that's my photo season, or those periods of time. Every day it looks different. We have so many climates. We have so many. It represents all of California on the mountain. It's so wonderful that any day I can decide, oh, I think I want rocks today. So I'll go over to the backside, North Peak, Clayton Side. I'll climb up Donner Canyon, and there's lots of rocks, or waterfalls, or creeks, or if it's raining, you know, there's different weather. I never get tired of it. It's just the most wonderful place, and it is the most wonderful place to save. I've been involved with Save Mount Diablo for years. You look through this book, you don't see houses, you don't see telephone poles, you don't see concrete and all the people-made stuff. You see nature, and that's what I'm all about, is representing nature in a very clean and pure way, and I couldn't do it without Save Mount Diablo. I've worked for land trusts, Santa Clara County. I worked on the Coyote Valley project, if you heard about that. Santa Clara County just purchased, the open space district just purchased over 900 acres south of San Jose that everybody had their eyes on and wanted to develop, all the companies, and now it's the main connector between the Santa Cruz Mountains and our Diablo Range. How much more important can you get? I've photographed all Sonoma County, but this is my home. This is where I love to photograph, and I never get tired of it. I go out every day. I visit all the same trees over and over. They're all my friends. I watch them fall over and die. I see new trees come up. I mean, it's just a wonderful experience, and I love working for open space. I've worked on tens of thousands of acres of property that is going to be open space for generations to come. What a great legacy. I mean, I love it. It'll always be there. It's just wonderful. I hope it'll always be there. Won't it be there, Ted? You wonder when state parks are closing, and you kind of worry about that kind of stuff. But I think we're okay here. And with East Bay Regional Park District, God, they do such a great job. I mean, they Save Mount Diablo has worked on probably every property that East Bay Parks has bought around Mount Diablo. So it's such a great partnership, and I love having Save Mount Diablo as my partner. I really do. It's just wonderful. So please support Save Mount Diablo. Very important. Oh, what else can I say? What do you want to know? Anybody have any questions? Or, I use all digital cameras now. I used to use 100-year-old panoramic cameras. I'd lug them around, big heavy cameras. Now it's all digital, and everything's stitched together. When you see my panoramic photograph, those are multiple stitched together images. I told a group at Save Mount Diablo on Wednesday that my family are Hungarian tailors, came over to this country at the turn of the century, so I'm keeping that going. I'm the photo stitcher, and it's not working, although I am a really good sewer. I do sew well. Now I stitch my photographs, so my panoramic photographs are made up of sometimes dozens of images. And that's how I get these very wide views. When you look at one of my photographs, and it's kind of a long, skinny photograph, it's more than your eye can take in. You can see about 90 degrees, right? You look, you see, this is what you can focus on with your peripheral vision. Well, you might be focusing on 200 degrees in a photograph, or 300 degrees. I choose how many degrees to make an image, for a good composition. So even though it might look like a normal photograph, it's actually more than you can see. So I've always liked making the invisible visible. That's kind of what I like to do with my Broadway work in New York. And I just finished a year of opera in New York doing Glimmerglass Opera Festival. That was kind of fun. But my passion is Mount Diablo, and I'll probably die up there someday. They'll find me with my camera propped up against a tree with a heart attack or something. Yeah.
Well, I hope you don't have a heart attack.
Yeah, me too.
Would you, if we have time, would you go through, you wake up in the morning, you go, I'm going up to Mount Diablo, then tell us about your day.
Well, I watch the weather. I track the weather very closely. Every day I'm looking at the weather. I see, I get out my iPhone and I see weather coming. It's like, yay! I'm so happy to see weather. When there's rain, I photograph in the rain. My good friend Scott Williams taught me how to hold an umbrella under my chin and take photographs like this. I love photographing in the rain. And so first I watch the weather. And then I think, well, it's going to rain today. Go to the waterfalls because they look so great when it's raining. So I plan my day. I don't always get out early. I don't sleep much, so I'm up early working. And I head out and I'll drive, let's say, to the back side of the mountain. I like to go into Regency, which is an entrance and up Donner Canyon. And that's the day. I'll spend the day. I might get 100 yards. I might get in on Donner Creek, and the rocks are so beautiful, and the light's incredible, and the buckeyes are just coming out, and it's just beautiful light, and I might not get further, or I might get up to North Peak. I never know how far I'm going. I have food and water and my equipment. I have enough memory in my camera to take about, 3,000 photos or so. I try never to take that many because then I have to look at all those photographs and process them. Half of my work is on the computer. The first half is staying in shape to hike. So I swim every day. I try to keep in shape. Being a landscape photographer, you really have to stay in shape. You can't, I'm carrying around a pretty heavy pack. The equipment's very heavy, the lenses, you got lunch, you got snacks, you got water, the umbrella, all this stuff. So that's just it. I just watch the weather. I decide what I want to photograph. Oh, today it's going to be beautiful in Morgan Territory. I head out to Morgan Territory. It just depends on where the weather looks good, and then I spend the day photographing, usually the whole day. If it looks like it's going to be incredible sunset, I go to yew tree. I have all my trees picked out. Yew tree, which you'll see quite a few in the book, in the summertime, or in the summer and fall, the sun sets behind the branch on the left, and in the spring it sets behind the branch on the right. It's like a perfect sunset tree. And I have trees like that all over the mountain, so I know where to go. I'm very familiar with the mountain. I've named the trees and the creeks. Don't look for my places on the map. Like you won't find Ruby Creek or Dragon Oak or Buckeye Creek. Some people might, but they're my own names because, nobody names little hills and trees. Who's going to name trees? I name trees. So that's my day. I try to go day after day. I get home at night. I dry my boots. I get all ready for the next day, get the equipment, download all the photographs. I have hundreds of hard drives, store all the photographs. And then the computer work starts, and I do all that at night. And oh my God, how much computer work. One day, one really good day of hiking could be a week on the computer. So you get backed up. I mean, the computer part is as important as the hiking and the photographing. I use what's called a raw format. So you have to assign colors to things. You don't, is that the right blue? Is that the right green? Is that really the green of the tree? You have to decide all those decisions and make all those decisions. So it's a lot of work on the computer. I like that creative part, but that part gets to me. But I work outside. I have a nice little stuffed chair under a little thing, it's like a little awning, and the screen faces this dark area, so I can even work outside on the computer. And I listen to Audible books. I listen to sometimes 2 a week because I listen while I work, so it's a lot of stuff. Am I out of time? Linda was going to wave at me when I ran out of time, like get the hook.
We want to leave time for signing.
Yes.
So, anything else you'd like to say?
There was something, but I just forgot it when I asked you if I was out of time. Anyways, the book, I know. Next Saturday, I have a wonderful local band at my gallery. I have a gallery in Alamo. If you've never been to my gallery, you should check it out. I'm at Summit Ranch, Bob and Joan Marks' Summit Ranch in Alamo. It's at we're actually on the mountain. And Bob Marks built me this gorgeous gallery. It really is beautiful. I've never had a better showing of my work. It's filled with big 14-foot prints, and it's gorgeous gallery, and it's in an incredible location. I mean, we're actually on the mountain. The gate to the mountain is in front of my gallery. You can take a walk up to China Wall, where Save Mount Diablo has moonlight on the mountain. It's a really nice location. So next Sunday from 2 to 6 o'clock.
Sunday? Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah. Next Sunday from 2 to 6, I have Billy Bunch. Happen to have the lead guitarist here, Rod Watkins. It's a great band. I have Canasta Food Truck, which is a really good food truck. Come and purchase lunch. and have a beer and listen to music. And even if you've already bought your book here, by next week you might decide you need another book. So it's going to be a nice party. Come check out the gallery. It's a beautiful gallery. It really, I've never had as nice a show place for my work as this gallery. And I keep changing prints, and it's very cool. I guess I need to wrap it up. Yeah.
How many pictures do you take of the same scene before you get to one that you want? Or do you only know that once you get back and start the process?
Yeah. Okay. I shoot all day. Sometimes I might walk.
I mean, of the same scene, the rocks.
It's endless. I might, digital photography, it used to be, when I did panoramic photographs, it was $10 a shot, film and processing. Now, there's no limit. So I do take a lot of photographs because I enjoy the photographing. One of my favorite things is the hiking and the photographing. So I just keep hiking and photographing. So you never know. It might be 2 or 3 or 100. It's always different, So there's 2 different books you can get. I have my $75 book, which is here, and then there's a limited edition special gift book that comes in a box with an original print. That's $250. It's quite beautiful. I have an example back at the table. And it's very cool. It's got a clamshell box, and it's got a print inside. There's a choice of prints, and it comes with a book. Very cool. So you got 2 choices. It's the ultimate gift. All right, thanks. That's about it. Is that good? Thank you, Linda.
Where's your mic? Where's your mic? So you can see why I really enjoyed working on this project, between working with Stephen, who is such a magician with photography and knows the mountain so well and loves the mountain and photographing so much that it's contagious. You thoroughly enjoy being with him and being a part of his project. And after hearing from Ted and Ed and Seth, you can imagine why it's an editor's dream job to work with people like you, whose words just are amazing and compelling and dramatic and so moving. And so I thank you again very much for allowing me to be a part of working with your words. And I didn't work with their words much. They gave me words. I pretty much kept hands off. But to be able to put them together in a particular order with some consistency so that there is a theme to this book. As I say, between the images and the words, the theme of the book is get to know natural lands, connect with natural lands, and you too will want to protect the natural lands for all of us. So thank you all very much. Thank you again, Susan Moon. Thank you so much, Walnut Creek Library Foundation, for allowing us to be here to host the big official book launch. Thank you, Walnut Creek Television and Matt, for recording this and airing it on WCTV. Derek Jones and Heritage Eats, thank you so much. And again, if any of you are hungry after this, head on over to Heritage Eats. And I also want to tell you, you have in your chair there something also that the library hosts. This is the Mountain Shadow Film Society. Chooses an independent or foreign film, 1 film, 5 showings a month. Now today there's a showing at 4:30 and a showing at 7:30. It's a membership-based organization, but they do have general admission, and there are seats still available. So maybe go eat at Heritage Eats, come back for the 4:30 showing, come here for general admission, come about 30 minutes early so that you can get the seat of your choice and enjoy the Swallows of Kabul. And you've got your flyer there about this film. It's a French film with English subtitles. So I will leave it at that. Again, remember that this book matches everybody's decor. And it's a great gift for friends and family, clients and colleagues, and we all have friends and family and clients and colleagues. Thank you so much. Everybody, join Stephen back at the signing table. Thank you.